The moment those squad cars rolled up, Beverly pointed at me across the lake, shouting for the world to hear. Two police officers stepped out, neighbors pulled out their phones, and I felt that old familiar chill run through me. I was the only black homeowner on this side of Maple Ridge, and Beverly, queen of the HOA, was determined to make an example out of me. She claimed I was blocking community access to the lake. But today, as those cops walked straight past her and up to me, I knew her game was finally up. This time, I'd set the trap. If you've ever felt like the outsider, if you've been targeted, judged, or isolated for simply standing your ground, smash that like button. Drop your story in the comments. And let's build a community where justice isn't just a word. Subscribe for more real stories about fighting back when the system's stacked against you. I never imagined peace and quiet would be so hard to come by. When I bought my cabin on Lake Pine, I thought it'd be my sanctuary. 2 acres, 300 feet of private shoreline, just me, the birds, and my fishing rod. For 20 years, I'd worked myself into the ground, clawing my way up from nothing in a world that never really saw me as belonging. This place was supposed to be a reward, a reset. Instead, it became a battleground the second my blackface appeared in the HOA newsletter. The trouble started my first weekend. I got up before sunrise, coffee in hand, headed down to my dock, and found a white family already there, coolers and rods scattered everywhere. Beverly said this is the community spot. The father didn't look the least bit apologetic. I explained, calmly as I could, that this was private property. They gave me the kind of look that said, "Prove it." In their eyes, I was already guilty, an outsider, a problem to be managed. That's how I met Beverly Hartman, president of the HOA for 8 years, blonde bob, always in control. She fined folks for grass an inch too high, for mailbox colors, for anything she pleased. But she had a special energy when it came to me. Every meeting, I'd show up with my documents, property deed, survey, everything ironclad. Well, our records show that Shoreline's been open to the community for decades, Beverly would say, dismissing my paperwork with a wave. She refused to show me any records of her own. She just kept smiling that smug smile. I put up private property signs. They disappeared. I installed a chain on the dock path. It got cut. Then Beverly took it up a notch, advertising paid fishing tours from my dock on the community Facebook page, photos of her with someone else's fish, and my damn dock in the background. My blood boiled, but I kept my cool. I knew if I snapped, the narrative would flip in an instant. Aggressive black man threatens the neighborhood. I couldn't afford to lose control. I needed a plan. That's when I found James, a property attorney who'd fought plenty of HOA battles and who happened to be black, too. He told me we'd need to be twice as thorough, twice as patient. We installed visible security cameras, replaced my signs with huge, bold warnings, and James drafted a cease and desist letter that left nothing to interpretation. We sent copies to the police, every board member, made a paper trail as long as the shoreline. James told me, Beverly's counting on the system to do what it's always done, protect people like her. But you have the truth. Now we just have to wait. I didn't have to wait long. Saturday morning, Beverly strutted down the path in a cherry-red blazer, clipboard ready, trailed by a squad of neighbors. Some had smiled at me before. Now their faces were cold, uncertain, as if daring me to resist. I met them at the line, property clearly marked, survey stakes everywhere. "You're about to trespass," I told them, voice sorry, but my heart hammering in my chest. Beverly started shouting about community rights, about tradition, waving her clipboard like a baton. When I didn't back down, she whipped out her phone and dialed 911, loud enough for everyone to hear. Yes, he's threatening us. He's aggressive, blocking community property. I saw people pulling out their own phones, recording. I could see it already, the way this would be twisted if I so much as raised my voice. The police arrived in minutes. Beverly rushed up to them, breathless, giving her performance about how dangerous I was, how I'd threatened her and the community. But Officer Thompson walked right past her, straight to me. "You okay, Mr. Johnson?" he asked, and Beverly's jaw nearly hit the ground. He handed me a folder. Inside were my property deeds, survey maps, copies of the cease and desist, and printed screenshots from Beverly's little fishing tour business. While Officer Thompson spoke with me, his partner, Officer Davis, turned to the crowd and said, clear as a bell, "This shoreline is private property. Anyone entering without permission is trespassing." Beverly started to sputter, insisting she had documents proving otherwise. When Officer Davis asked to see them, she stammered. They were conveniently at home. Then she claimed I'd threatened her. Officer Thompson just shook his head. "Making a false police report is a crime, Beverly." He started writing her a citation for criminal trespass and noted the harassment and incitement. The crowd began to scatter, a couple neighbors muttering apologies to me as they left. One woman turned to Beverly and said, "You better refund my $20, Beverly." For the first time, the anger wasn't directed at me. It was at her. Over the next month, Beverly's world fell apart. She faced charges for trespass, harassment, and fraud. Word spread about her HOA scams, missing funds, shady deals. The board called an emergency election, and Beverly lost in a landslide to Robert Chen, who promised to actually follow the law. Neighbors started approaching me, not just to apologize, but to share their own stories of how Beverly had bullied or extorted them. Turns out, I wasn't the only one she tried to push out. I was just the only one who stood his ground. Now, the lake is quiet again. New signs are up. Private property. No trespassing. Clear as day. I fish in peace for the first time since moving in. Sometimes, when the morning mist rises off the water, I think about how close I came to losing everything just because someone decided I didn't belong. Justice isn't always easy. Sometimes it takes patience, evidence, and a willingness to stand up, again and again, until the system finally listens. So, if you've ever had to fight just to exist, if you've ever watched people twist the truth because of your skin, your background, or your story, drop a comment below. Share your experience. The more we speak up, the more we claim our space, the stronger we become. Justice belongs to all of us. Let's keep fighting for it, together.